Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and it's time for our next Saturday with Stacy, YouTube class number 407. We are packed full in this class. Packed full in this class. Please remember that if you do place an order with us, in the notes section of your order, you can add this YouTube number so that when you get your order on your packing slip, there'll be a little reminder, that little note that you put in for yourself. Hey, saw this on Saturday with Stacy, YouTube class number 407. I've got a lot to show and a lot to share. I have the next collection of Simply Defined dies. It's fall. Yep. We're doing fall in July, but that's okay. That way they get to you on time with ample time for you to make whatever Thanksgiving cards or fall cards that you want to make. But I'm also playing with alcohol ink markers, Aussie Andrews Couture Creations alcohol ink markers. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a pro at alcohol ink markers at all, but I will get to that. Let me go back before I go forward. An update on the warehouse sale. I have no update since last week. So if you need to know the number that we were at last week, we are on day 2 without any question. We're in several hundred in. You are welcome to go back, and in the intro you will find the order that we are up to for day 2. What else? Okay. Also, I have got winter chicken dinner to talk about. Before I do that, I know I'm speeding along really quickly because I know how much I have to do in this class. I probably could have broken it up into 2 or 3 classes, but what's the fun of that, right? By the time I remembered that I needed to break this up into 2 or 3 classes, I will have forgotten what I was supposed to have done. Okay, I need to send out some thank yous to a few people before I do winter chicken dinner. First off, thank you for all of the wonderful gifts that people send. They are so appreciated and so loved, and we enjoy opening the boxes, but really, cards are amazing. Gifts are not needed. But I had to show, I have the cutest little apron over here that I got. I showed it up in class, in one of the classes. It's darling, it's in red, and it has all the Stacyisms. winter chicken dinner and wahoo kachoo, and you have options. It sits right there because it makes my heart happy. Well, I got something in from Rhonda Bates. Rhonda, where you found this, I don't know. And I hope my holy smokes artichokes. Rhonda, I love it. I mean, I don't just like it. How cute. Everybody got a kick out of it. Everybody. Mr. SMS rolled his eyes a little bit, so that was a wahoo kachoo. Thank you. Thank you for your thoughtfulness. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for thinking of me. And like I said, we love getting your cards in the mail, everybody. We have a whole wall that has cards up. Gifts are absolutely not needed. This one was so appreciated, though. It definitely was a winter chicken dinner. Okay, now I also need to say hello to my feline friend, Avery. So we have a customer, Lisa, I think it is, who sent SMS girl Claire a video of her cat. She fosters cats, so it had to have been Claire, because that's how had to have been Lisa and Claire. So she fosters cats, and she's fostering this cat named Avery. And Avery sits there and watches my YouTubes in their entirety. And Avery just sits with me and watches me and follows me and watches my hands and follows my hands. So Lisa took a video of Avery watching me and sent it to Claire. So Claire told me I had to say hello to Avery. Hello, Avery. I hope you get adopted soon. Okay, I have winter chicken dinner to talk about. This is from YouTube number 406. Make your holiday cards sparkle and shine. Wasn't that great product? Those woodware stamps and that woodware die, so useful. And then the Gigi product, and it was just all a little bit of twinkling happiness as far as I was concerned. Okay, our first winter chicken dinner is Jane Roosh. Jane, is that you? Because if it is, congratulations. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo Kachoo for you. Our second winner is Judy. Judy Han. Hello, Judy Han. Is that you? Because if it is, you also are a winner chicken dinner. Congratulations. Now, what is a winner chicken dinner? Well, these two lovely ladies, based off of their name, Jane and Judy, posted a comment in my last YouTube. You post a comment below. To be able to post a comment, you have to subscribe. There's a little heart over here. You gotta subscribe to be able to post a comment below, and the live chat does not count. Now there's access doors at both sides of the, and the closest door may be behind you. Half of you turned off. It's okay. I'm good with it. So anyway, they posted a comment below, and they subscribed to Scrapbooking Made Simple. I approved the comment, meaning that it was something that was approvable. It was kind, it was polite, it was generic. It told us about your day. It told us about your family. It just said, hey girl, hey, doesn't even matter as long as it's kind. Then we have our software who picks 2 winners every single week, and they get a $25 gift card to Scrapbooking Made Simple. It is just that simple, and you never know when it's going to be your turn. You just don't know. And then we have Judy and we have Jane, probably jumping up and down and screaming, and their family's like, what's going on? What's going on? And then they back up the video, and then they watch it again, and then they back up the video, and then they watch it again. And then they call their friends or text their friends, hey, check out this YouTube. I was mentioned on this YouTube. Yes, you were. So let's do the winner chicken dinner dance, shall we? Okay. You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, Kachoo for you. Congratulations, girls. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. Your money is already in your account. Go have fun. Buy something fabulous with it, okay? Make my heart happy by making your heart happy. Get something frivolous that you would never do for yourself. Now, today is a lot of technique. And one more thing before we get there, I want to tell you quickly. When is it ever quickly? Right? It's me. Several years ago, I had an event at my house for the SMS staff, for their family, their parents, their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their kids, their cousins, whomever. I had the In-N-Out truck come to my house, and we had a big old party in my backyard, pre-house burning down. This was before the house burned down. And it was one of the very last pictures, if not the last picture ever taken of my dad. He passed away shortly after that party, and he had such a great time sitting there, and he just sat there and schmoozed with everybody. But Belinda, SMS girl Belinda, she works on the design team, and she used to work here in the store until she had to stop and take care of her parents. And you know, I understand being a caregiver. I totally get that. But she was still at the store when the party happened, and well, even if she wasn't, she would have been invited, but regardless. So her parents came to that party, and it was just this big old outdoor barbecue, and we had, well, outdoor In-N-Out barbecue, let's be clear. I didn't cook anything, but we had hula hoop contests and coloring contests. Now, these were not just for the kids. The adults were doing the coloring contest and the hula hoop contest and the egg tossing contest, and we had the best time. And I think what made my heart so happy is because it was meant for families, everybody. Bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, whomever you can bring. It was a community to see people sitting and chatting and getting to know each other and introducing them to their family, and the laughter and the fun that we had. And a party at my house goes on for quite some time because we're all about making it inviting for everybody, and we want everybody to have the best time ever. Well, Belinda brought her parents to the party, and it might be the last time I've seen her parents. So she's been working hard and doing an exceptional job at being a full-time caregiver for her mom and dad. But her mom recently passed away. It has been hard, I know. Belinda, it has been hard, but you should be so proud of what you have done for your parents and the love and the care that you showed them and the respect, and what an amazing daughter you have been. Has it been easy? No. But did your mom know that you were there for her? Always. So we are so sorry that your mom has passed away, but you have us and our love and our support to get you through. I just want you to know how much respect I have for what you have accomplished and done and continue to do now for your dad. Belinda, I love you to the moon and back. So I think that's what you're going to have to post on this usually you post your comment, but I think what we have to do is we have to say who we're most grateful for in the world right now. I know Belinda's parents were oh so grateful for her, and I'm grateful for Mr. SMS and my boys and my SMS family. Who are you most grateful for? That's your comment for this week. Not generic, not random. Be specific. Who are you grateful for this week? And if you are grateful for them, make sure they know it. Okay, so I am going to get going. I need to have a sample or two to show you. I'm going to give you an idea of what we're doing. I didn't have these prepared, but that's okay. I think I'll be okay. And we're going to work with Simply Defined dyes. We're going to work with alcohol markers from Couture Creations at $1.99 a marker. Boy, you can't go wrong with that. I've got some Sizzix in here. I've got something that all is going to make your heart happy, I hope. So I'm going to tilt on down. We're going to get started for today. And much love to all of you, because really I'm grateful for all of you. If it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a me. Or an SMS, or an SMS girl Belinda, or Claire, or retired SMS girl Doris, or SMS girl Renee, or Sarah, or my niece B. We're all just very grateful for you. Okay, down we go. Bye. Okay, let me zoom on in. And zoom on down. And put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So, what do we think? Cute, right? Isn't that a great card? So this is a Simply Defined die. And then I have here just a couple samples to show you what we got for you. And then I think last I'll show you this one. All right, so let's get started for today. What am I going to start with? Well, first off, I want to show you what came in that's new. Tweezers, are they mine? No. Does it matter? No. Sort of. Kind of, sort of, it matters, but I'm okay. I'm going to tilt this that way. Kind of push that down, and I've got a big old glare going on. There we go. Maybe that's better. Oh yeah, that's better. Now I can see. Wahoo. Okay, so tweezers. I know you're like, tweezers, but I haven't been able to manufacture my tweezers for a while with everything that's been going on. But Ozzy Andrew has. Are they exactly like mine? No, but they are pretty darn close. The tip of these are wonderful. What do they retail for? Well, what they retail for and what we're selling them for are two different stories. I believe that these retail for $3.80 pretty much everywhere. But I had a little conversation with Ozzy Andrew, and I said, I have to be able to retail them for $2.99 every day. So they're $2.99 every day. When I'm able to get my tweezers back in, I will, but until then, love these. And you know what? Maybe these are enough. Maybe I don't even have to worry about having my own tweezers, because these really are, the tips are beautiful. They're just like mine. The tips are just like mine. Okay, so I wanted to show you that because everybody asks, when are your tweezers coming back in? Well, let's all celebrate Ozzie Andrews tweezers. Okay, first things first, I think I'm going to start with this die here. So this is a brand new Simply Defined die, and it's a few pieces. You have the main die, which is your Wagon, but I wanted to give you a couple different options as to what to put on top of the Wagon. So I did pumpkins and I did flowers. Maybe your Wagon is in spring and you want to do flowers. I don't know. Maybe you're doing a fall pumpkin and a fall Wagon. So I'm going to start with my Wagon, and I think I'm going to start with also a new product for us. I have got Sizzix. Now this isn't new for Sizzix, so I want to be clear on that. This is new to us. I had never seen it before, and when I saw it, and I just knew it was perfect for this collection. This is their cardstock. It's 80-pound cardstock. It's called their Eclectic Collection. You can see the colors. Now you can see why I wanted it so much for this collection, because it just screams fall. What you need to know about the Sizzix cardstock packs is that they don't duplicate colors, meaning if you have one of their other cardstock packs, you don't have these colors because they don't duplicate colors. So that you're going to have brand new assortments in each of their different cardstock packs. You get 80 sheets? I think it's 10 colors. 10 colors, it's 6 sheets. So 60 sheets, 10 colors, 6 sheets each. And I want to say it retails for $16.99, but of course it'll be on a YouTube Yummy. Love the colors. So we're going to start with this today. And I think I'm going to pull, if you can believe it, I'm going to pull the gray. And I'm going to start with my Wagon. This is a die. It is a chemically etched die, which means that there's no blades. The other type of dies are called steel rule dies. S-T-E-E-L, rule, R-U-L-E. Steel rule dies and chemically etched dies. And this is a wafer die, a chemically etched die, and that's what all of my dies are. So they're not thick. They're very, very thin, hence the reason they're called wafer dies. They go through almost any die cutting machine. It will not go through a Sidekick. It is too wide, but it will go through a Cuttlebug machine, absolutely. And gosh, every Sizzix machine there is except for the Sidekick. So a Big Shot, a Big Kick, a Fabby, a old Vintage machine, your Spellbinders machine, a Platinum 6, a Platinum 8, a Gemini, you name it, an old Grand Caliber machine, absolutely it will go through. I'm going to cut this down to size to start with. I'm just going to trim my paper down. And the Sizzix paper is not 8.5 by 11. Because Sizzix is now considered a global company, the paper is standardized for worldwide. So that means it's an A4 size. What does that mean to you? It means it's a little bit longer than an 8.5 by 11, but a little bit narrower. So it's a little bit longer than 11, but a little bit narrower than 8.5. Just so you know. Now I'm going to bring my die cutting machine on over, and today I am using my Sizzix Big Shot machine. The switch machine, maybe November is what I'm told now, but please don't hold your breath. I'm sure you would be a lovely shade of blue, but we would really miss you. Please, I have no idea when they're actually going to get that switch machine out. So, and when I have updates, I'll tell you. Now, I am using the platform that comes with your machine, which is a base platform and a solo shim. You use the solo shim when you are using wafer style dies. If I was doing an embossing with an embossing folder, I wouldn't need the solo shim. But because I am using a wafer style die, I'm going to keep them together. I'm also going to be using a precision base plate. A precision base plate is meant to be used when you are using very intricate dies. My dies, Simply Defined dies, tend to be intricate, and you will need this for my dies. Now this is version 3. There was a what is that on the, I can see, oh look, see, there you go. Oh, is that me? No, I don't know what, I have no idea what that is. So there is 3 versions of this. This is version 3. It's the chrome version, and it allows the die to cut into the paper, but it doesn't cut into the chrome. The first 2 versions will have little cut marks into them, but they don't go bad, and there's nothing wrong with those. So if you have them, one of them, then you should be fine. Really, all you need is one of these. You don't need to have all 3 of them. In fact, it would be hard to find the older versions now the chrome's been out for so long. If you can read the directions, you're doing it wrong. So I've got my base platform here. I've got my solo shim platform here. If I put my precision base plate this way, I would be doing it incorrectly. I need that metal, whether it be the black metal or the chrome, facing up. And then I can put my paper down. I can put my die and a really old cut plate. Anything that you have that's old. An old do not cut plate will work, because due to the pressure, it will leave an imprint in your plate. It won't leave a cut line. It'll leave almost like a shadowed line, like a watermark where the pressure has been so much. I'm going to take my die and I'm going to slightly rotate it because it's got a rectangle and I've got a parallel line here. I don't want that parallel line hitting the roller that's in the machine. When it happens, if I send it through and that parallel line here hits the roller, it kind of makes a really loud ka-thump. It doesn't hurt the die and it doesn't hurt your machine, but it will scare the bejeebies out of you. Truly, you'll think that you ruined your die or you ruined your machine. What's happening is that as the roller is taking the die through, it's having a hard time getting this entire line under that roller all at the same time. And when it finally does, it goes ka-thump. So if you just turn your die on a slight angle, now your die is going to feed into your machine a little differently. I'm going to put my cut plate or my do not cut plate, something really old, on top, and I'm going to send it through. You might hear some creaks and cracks. You may. Oh, there was a few, but that's okay. Oh, I'm not centered at all. Holy smokes, artichokes. Why am I backing it up? Because I did not center my plates. There we go. So I didn't like straighten them out. One of them was off on the side. Now it will roll through easy peasy. Oh yeah, look at that. Yay. And done. Okay. So let's put this over here for now. And let's pop this one out and see what we get. All right. So there is the beginnings of my wagon. Now I'm going to take, and I'll do both of them at the same time. I have this little piece left right here that came off of here. And I still have my toppers. How do I want to top my wagon? Do I want to put flowers on top of them, or do I want to put pumpkins on top of them? I can go through. Ooh, will I get them both? Oh, I don't know if I'll get them both. Maybe by the hair of a chinny chin chin? Well, let's try it. What do we got to lose? It's just a piece of paper, right? So I'm going to try and cut both of those out of that little piece of paper. Bring my machine back over. Put my die down. Do it this way. Oh, look at there. Hot diggity, dog diggity. And let's send them through. Now these are more intricate than that wagon was. I may need to rotate and send back. Oh no, I've got a beautiful cut on the back of both of them. Easy peasy. So get all my little, see, isn't that nice when all the little bits and pieces fall right out? That's what you're looking for. So those little bits and pieces coming right out. And let's pull this one out. And all my little bits and pieces, they're called fallouts. All my little pieces, they're called fallouts because that's what you want. You want them to fall out. Okay, put those over here. And now I can show you that with your wagon, you can either have cute little flowers on the top of your wagon, or you can have a hay bale and some pumpkins on your wagon. You have options. There's also a few little words that go with it, but for now, this is good. All right, I think I might use the flowers. I'm gonna grab a piece of white paper. Come on over, let's just cut that right down to size, or at least in half. I'm using heavy 100-pound cardstock. It's simply defined cardstock. It doesn't matter if you have mine or somebody else's, as long as you've got a nice weight cardstock. And I am going to use sticky dots. Okay, these are my micro dots. And gosh, it's a sheet of hundreds of thousands of little dots on this paper. It is meant to be used with intricate dies, and really there are hundreds and thousands of dots on this little sheet of paper. One side has nothing, one side is adhesive. We put the little washi tape to help open and close it. Not my idea, but a wonderful idea by a customer. God bless her, Pea Pickin' Heart, for sending me an email, because that was brilliant. I put my die cut right down on it, close it up, give a good press. Now, anywhere you don't see the die, the paper, so the sticky dots are gonna stay all here. We're not going to use any of those. We're only going to use the sticky dots where there is paper. So they last a really long time. They are repositionable for a time. You don't have all day with them, but you do have some time to pick it up and move it. And just like that. No dabbing glue onto the back or anything, just like that. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Now I can put my little flowers on top. These are great for kids, they're great for seniors, they're great for anybody who does not want to deal with liquid glue or who does not want the expense of a Xyron. Xyron was a great tool for its time, absolutely, but things have evolved. You know what I'm gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait to put that one on there. I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna color this a little bit. So I've got alcohol ink markers from Couture Creations. These are kind of like a Copic. They're on the same base as a Copic because they're alcohol ink. The brush tip is nice. It's a beautiful brush tip. They hold an ample amount of alcohol. You've got a bullet tip off the other side. The ink has proven to be really, really, really nice. I was not going to be bringing in alcohol ink markers because we were a Copic store for years and years and years, a Copic chain store for years and years and years. But gosh, I couldn't beat the price, and the quality was amazing. I'm going to take, and even though it's gray, I'm going to add a little bit of green. So I'm just taking my alcohol ink marker. Now you could do this with any marker that's green. Doesn't have to be alcohol ink. But I'm just going to put some green where the kind of the grassy area is. And I'm just coloring right on top of the gray. Now the thing with alcohol ink markers is you don't know the real color until it dries. And alcohol ink markers dry super, super fast. So I just wanted to add a little bit of green to the bottom just so it's not gray the whole place. Now I'll put it back on my paper. I still have my sticky dots. Put it back on my paper. So now I've just got a little tinge of green at the bottom. Just a little tinge of green. And then I can take my flowers and put my flowers right on. Yep. Do a little bit better job, and there we go. So you can see it can lift up and be put down, but then once it's down, it's going to become permanent. Now what am I going to do with this? I'm going to keep it super simple for you, and we're just going to color it in. No problem. I'm still going to use my alcohol ink markers, and maybe I like this color. So I'm still going to use my alcohol ink markers, but I'm really going to use them just like a marker. Does that work for me? And I'm just going to go in there. Ooh, I don't know. Decisions. Maybe I like the super light gray. Ooh, I like that. I'm just going to go in there with my alcohol ink marker. So most people use alcohol ink markers for blending techniques. And they'll do shadings and shadows and highlights and midtones. And that is what Copics were made to do. My husband had Copics long before I ever knew what a Copic marker was, because he drew homes for a living, and he would use the Copic markers to color in his blueprints. And so they really are, alcohol markers are just a beautiful product, but not all alcohol markers are the same. And I'm very, very picky. So when Ozzie Andrews said he had alcohol markers, I said, uh-huh. And then he sent them to me, and I said, uh-huh. And then I played with them. And I really, really have to say they're a quality product, especially when you're talking about the price. They're $1.99 a marker. So you get both sides. There's 108 colors. And a Copic sketch marker is at $7.99 right now, which means you can probably pick one up on sale for about $5.80. Or you can use Ozzie Andrews Couture Creations markers, and they really are a very, very, very nice product. Now the thing about alcohol markers is that they tend not to leave lines, whereas a typical marker will leave, you'll be able to see the lines when you go back and forth and back and forth. Most often an alcohol ink marker will not do that. And that's the beauty of them, is that you get that solid color without any of those lines coming through, and they're blendable. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a pro at alcohol ink markers. I'm going to show you things that I do with them that hopefully will help you. If you are an expert at alcohol ink markers and you are Copic certified, yay! But if you could just be so kind as to not tell me everything I'm doing wrong with my alcohol markers. Now I'm just coloring. That's all I'm doing. I'm not blending or anything. I'm just laying some color down. And I always like to have an extra little area so I can see what color I want to work with. And I can just go in there and use them like a regular marker. At this price, I don't worry about the ink so much. I really don't, because they're so darn affordable that at $1.99 each, you can't even get a Sharpie for that. You could, if you had Tombow markers, you could go in and do this. You would know those are a dye-based marker, but you can certainly use them just as a marker, absolutely. We're going to get more advanced with them shortly, but I want you to see that they can be just a marker. And with that beautiful brush tip. So the brush tip is nice because it'll let you do something fat and it'll let you do something narrow. In fact, even thinner than that. All with one tip. That's where the difference comes in for quality, is that how well does that brush tip work? That's really, really important. And they dry so fast. So if I was just doing a really easy peasy card, or I wanted to make a cute little embellishment for a layout, just done. Not difficult at all. So we're going to move on. Now you've seen how to die cut and how to color, very basic. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play with the next die, which is going to be, let me put this one here. It's going to be my watering can. So here's the die. And it's going to be the watering can. And it does have autumn greetings as words to go with it. It is included. But I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. This time I'm going to take a piece of paper here. What paper makes my heart happy? Stop! I love this color. Okay, we'll use I love this color too. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to use a piece of this paper. And again, I'm going to die cut right on out. So cut me off a piece. Bring over my machine. Make sure that I don't have, last time I had to back it out because this platform here was off to the side. I hadn't centered it. It was off to the side and it was getting tighter and tighter to roll it through because it was trying to take through something that was off center. So this time I've got my base platform, I've got my solo shim, I've got my precision base plate, I've got my paper and my die. Let's see if I can make it go ka-thump for you so you can hear. So because I've got a parallel line here with the roller that's in the machine, that's what adds the pressure. It tends to make a ka-thump. If not in the beginning, then definitely at the end. So let's see if I can make it happen so you know what it sounds like and you can see me do it and know that you're gonna be okay if it happens. Ready? Yes, it's still okay. I know that sounds horrible, right? Okay, rolling through, rolling through. And as I get to the end, okay, not horrible, But still, that first opening creak and crack sounds awful. Now, because this is so intricate, I'm just going to do a quick rotate and send it back through. Just a quick rotate and send it back through. That way I'm sure that everything has cut. And why do you want to rotate? Because everybody's machine is a little different. Everybody's machine has got a sweet spot somewhere on that roller. And if you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but you're not changing the orientation of the die, well, it's hitting the roller the same way every time you go back and forth and back and forth. Move the die a little bit and let it hit the roller differently. And you will find that where it didn't cut before, now it will. Okay, so let's bring it on over. And all my little bits and pieces are falling out. Right? Happy moment. I don't know that I'm going to sit and get them all out for you because there's lots of little bits and pieces, but let's get the majority of them out. Okay. Now, I've done the die in this pretty burgundy paper. But maybe I don't want the watering can in that burgundy color. I want everything else in the burgundy, but not the watering can. Let me move this over and let me hit Mr. SMS's oh, that was a good 90%er right there, let me tell you. At least 90% of what all my little bits and pieces went right into the trash can. SMS girl Doris would be so proud, but now that she's retired, she doesn't vacuum up here anymore. But she could if she wanted to come. She was here visiting today. I should have sent her up just for a good time. For memories. Oh, I can't sing. I'll get in trouble on YouTube. All right, so I've got it all die cut out. Now, I don't want to keep the watering can in burgundy. So how do I change that? Well, I don't want to cut it all out again either. I'm just going to grab a black marker. And again, I'm using an alcohol ink marker. You can use any black marker to do this. And I'm going to color right over the top of that burgundy. And I'm going to change my paper from burgundy to black where I want it. So wherever I've got the watering can, and I don't want it to be burgundy, we're just going to change it. It's only paper, right? It's only paper. You've got paper. And just like that, without a whole lot of effort, down here at the bottom. Now you can really see the watering can. I left everything else the same, but now you can see the watering can, right? Okay. So now I can grab, I can use this sheet of white paper. I can grab my sticky dots. I've still got lots of little pieces in here, but you'll get the gist. Get my sticky dots. Open them up. Put it down, close it up, give a press. And down it goes. And now you can see where the watering can is. Now I can come in and I can color. So I can decide what color yellow is this one? 108 colors gives you a lot to look for. I don't know, maybe I'll use a little bit of my yellow. And just go in there and color away. But what if I want more than one color? What if I want to do shading and shadowing and blending? Okay, this is where the alcohol inks, where being really proficient in them is awesome, but being not afraid of them is even more awesome. I'm gonna put this to the side for just a minute, and I'm gonna grab a piece of white paper. The thing about alcohol ink markers, especially with Copics, it's all about the blends, and that you know, every Copic marker needs two friends. So it needs a highlight friend and a shadow friend, and then the middle marker is always your mid-tone. With Aussie Andrews alcohol ink markers, first things first, pay no attention to the numbers that are on the markers. If you are thinking that they're going to be comparable to a Copic numbering system, that would be wrong. Copic has a very specific numbering system for their markers, and their numbers, the position of their numbers, each means something. So when you look at Aussie Andrews markers, don't think about the numbers. Look to make your own blends, or just create a blend. Now, when I'm saying blend, you're like, what are you talking about? Well, if I took these two markers and I put that there, and I put this here, and you grabbed a 0 pin, which is known as a blender pin, you may think that if I do this, it's going to blend them together, but you can see that it doesn't. The 0 marker, or the blender marker, the colorless blender, is really a color lifter. Can you see that it's lightening the color as opposed to blending the color? The 0 marker has specific uses. But today I want to play and show you how you can just take two markers, even if they're not exactly the same family, and make them work for you. What if I took my yellow here, and let's do this one over here. So I've done the top one already, a really bright yellow. In fact, maybe I'll pull that bright yellow and I can keep that here. And let's do this one here. Yep. So I'm going to color this whole thing orange. And the reason I color the whole thing is I don't want to miss any spaces. So if I start with my base color and color my whole flower in that base color, I'm good. Now, if I take it, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more and tilt down a little bit more. Now, if I take this is my lighter color, if I take my darker color and I add just a little color at the bottom. it is not going to naturally blend in. You need to take your first color, your lighter color, and go back and get that bottom color wet. Go back over it. Alcohol ink markers work best by using the alcohol ink in them. If they work best when wet, they blend when wet, because one ink is seeping in and blending into the other. They're marrying together. But to do that, both inks have to be wet. And then you need to give them a chance to dry. Can you see the difference? So this one's got a little bit of shadow at the bottom. Over here, it's just straight color. Now these two would not necessarily go together if you were looking at a Copic spectrum. They are not meant to blend together. Yet, because I'm putting color down at the same time, I'm putting this one down, and then I'm coming back with this one and going back over it, and I'm making those colors blend. Let's see if we add a little bit of red. I'm making those colors blend, forcing them to blend, because I'm keeping the ink wet. And it's just a matter of playing. So now I'm using a red, which again, you would not think in a typical Copic blend to put a red together. But I'm not using Copic markers, I'm using Couture Creations alcohol markers, and I'm free to do whatever makes my heart happy. Is there a right and a wrong way to use an alcohol marker? No, there's your way of using it. There's the way that you want to use it, the way that's going to make your heart happy, to give you the result that you want. You absolutely can take all the classes in the world and watch all of the pros without question. And Copic has 350 some odd colors that to make up their blends. I want to use my 108 colors to the best of my ability. My $108.99 colors to the best of my ability, and using that color that I started with. That's my blender. That's what's acting as a blend. So these I haven't touched at all, and those I'm blending. And I could keep adding color. I could darken it up. I could put just the tiniest little bit of red down at the bottom. Just a tiny little bit that I don't even know I would blend out, because I've got that bullet. Just that tiny little bit. So I did this one really yellow. I don't know what's going to happen to it because I haven't done a really yellow one before. But hey, let's go back in and let's just add a little bit more color to it and get it re-wet. And then a little bit of my lighter color. Or my light orange. And then go back in with my yellow and force the blend. You're forcing the blend because the ink is wet. Both inks are wet, making it saturate and blend into each other because they're wet. It only works if you keep the ink wet. And as that ink sits there, because it's wet, it's seeping out into the paper. I am not using Nina paper. I'm not using expensive paper to do this. I'm using 100-pound cardstock. I want you to use what you have. And I've started to make a blend. not what would be typically known as a natural blend in alcohol ink markers, but really, it makes my heart happy, so I'm good with it. I just want to make pretty things. How I get there, well, usually it's never the same way twice. I can completely respect the teachings that go in to being proficient with markers, absolutely. But I also know that a lot of us are just, we're crafters. We want to do what we want to do when we want to do it. And we want to use what we have or what we can afford to get it done. And this is an easy peasy way. So I'm using the lighter color to draw that color out and to keep it saturated enough that my darker orange will seep into it. You just need to have a wet ink. And then before you know it, alcohol inks don't have to be hard and they don't have to be challenging. They can be beautiful and easy, and 2 markers can make a beautiful finished product, even if they're an orange and a yellow. I mean, these are definitely 2 different saturations, 2 different hues. Look at the difference. And yet I made them blend. It's all about keeping that ink wet. Now, what if I did no, too late. What if I did my watering pot, my watering can, and I went in here and I colored it all gray? And I'm just getting in here and coloring it all gray. And I've got that brush tip that allows me to get right up next to things and right into little crevices without any problem. And just coloring it gray. Now when I'm done, I could leave it like this and just let it be. But we want to add some depth and dimension to it, right? And remember, it started out the same color as everything else. I didn't want it the same color. Remember, it started out in the burgundy because that's the color of the cardstock underneath it. Now, what if I went in and I added some more color to it? What if I added some depth and some definition? Where's that darker gray? Is this it? Nope, that's the light gray. Is this it? Ooh. Maybe that's it. Nope, light gray. Where did my dark gray go? Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay. Gosh. Yes, okay. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a little bit of darkness. Right there. Then I'm going to come back with my original gray, and I'm just going to saturate that on in. And I'm going to come back with that light gray, and I'm just going to saturate that on in. And as I add the color, you can see the shadow coming in. And I can take my light gray and saturate it on in. I can add some dark gray here. So you can clearly see there's two different color grays there. Now I'm going to take that lighter gray, that base color that I worked with, and I'm going to saturate that on in. And I'm going to just keep adding that color, and it's going to create a wetness that allows this dark gray to blend on in and kind of just merge into and soften into and expand out. As long as that ink is wet, I can continue to add color. And then you step aside and you let it dry. Because that's when the real magic happens, is when it's dry. You can really start to see the difference. Now this wasn't hard. I didn't do anything difficult. In fact, I only used 2 markers, where a lot of times you can use 3 markers. I'm just trying to create a blend so that I have some shading and some shadow and some highlight with things that I can afford to do that with. Can I come back and add highlight? Yes, this is where that 0 marker comes in. I almost don't want to do it because this looks so good. I don't know how it looks on camera, but in person it looks great. You didn't see me do anything hard. If I wanted to add a highlight to here, I could just take my 0 marker and kind of go straight down. Can you see the line that it's drawing? It's picking up that color. So now I've got to come back. I always get them mixed up. Oh, definitely darker. Come back with my lighter marker and just kind of blend and saturate. So I want to highlight, but I want that 0 marker. I want that to have something to blend into, and that way that center is going to be lighter, but the edges around it will be a little softer. And now I'm going to give that a chance to dry. What a 0 marker is also good for is when you're coloring on paper and you get a little bit on the color of your cardstock. The 0 marker can go in there and help lighten that color up on that cardstock if you accidentally get it on the cardstock. This is easy to do. You just start with a base color start with a base color. Color your entire image with your base color. Keep that handy because you're going to need it. And then, do I want to try and go lighter? While my base color is still wet, I'm going lighter down below. And then I can come back in and just at that demarcation line, add a little bit more of my base color, just so that light color has something to blend into, to absorb into, to mix with, and soften out. And you just go back and forth until you're happy. My recommendation is to step away for a few seconds because it will dry, and as it dries, it will change again because that color is moving in. It's absorbing into the paper and spreading out. So you have the dark orange and the yellow spreading out, softening to each other. They don't have to be overwhelming. They don't. Do you necessarily have to have a color chart and the whole collection of 300 colors? No, this is your art. This is you. You do you. And it can be done simply and beautifully. Okay, we need to move on. So far, we just die cut and colored, super cute, easy to do. This time we die cut, we colored part of our die cut to a different color so it was not burgundy, and then we went in and we played with our alcohol markers. Now we're gonna move on and do something a little different. This time I'm gonna use some paper. Okay, what do we think? Are we yay on this paper or nay on this paper? Before you say anything, this paper is so old, I'm shocked we still have it, but we do. In our, what do we do with this paper file, or to make samples, like to try things out on. This time I'm going to play with the Sizzix wax. This is their luster wax, and I know a lot of you have either ordered this or have already received this. This is pretty magnificent stuff. Really, it is. It is smells yummy, has an orange blossom smell to it, and it definitely is a wax-based product. So this will go on metal, on paper, on wood, on plastic, on glass. It is not like a paste or a water-based product. This goes on and stays on. So I wanted to take this paper that I was like, we need to see that go away. Let's do something with it. How many paper packs have you purchased where you loved all the paper except for 1 or 2 sheets? But you can't get rid of them because you paid for them, but you just can't bring yourself to use it. Well, luster wax will let you do that. It has an opaque finish. I have trouble with that word. I will always have trouble with that word. Covers everything. It goes a really, really long way. I mean, it goes a long way. You would think, well, why is she covering that whole sheet? Well, I'm going to die cut it and we're going to throw most of this away. But because luster wax goes so far, I would rather cover the whole sheet in die cut than try to work with a finicky die cut that's got thin lines and... Okay. Now I'm using the Aladdin dauber. It fits in here perfect. The Tim Holtz one should fit in here perfect, but we no longer carry Ranger product. We support the companies that support us. So Aladdin, which is Keep It Cool Kevin, he carries these and we carry them from him. If you have the Tim Holtz, you're gonna be fine. If you already have Kevin's, you're gonna love it. They all work, doesn't matter who you get it from. Now I'm gonna cut this down. Let's hope I didn't cut it too small, because if I did, I'll just have to make a new one. And I'm gonna grab my turkey. This is not a cute gobble wobble turkey. This is a grown-up turkey. And you're like, you did a turkey? Yes, because I love the little turkeys that have the little pilgrim hats on it, but I like more sophisticated, perhaps. I think that there needs to be a little something for everybody, and I think a sophisticated turkey was definitely lacking. All right, so I've covered up my paper. From that to that. Oh yeah, baby. And now I'm going to die cut. Ooh. Well, it's going to be by hair of a chinny chin chin, but when isn't it? All right, let's bring over my die cutting machine. I haven't changed my platform at all. It's my base plate, my solo shim, my precision base plate face down, my paper face up, my die kind of at an angle, and I'm going to send it on through. It's going to be close enough. We're going for technique here, right? Send it on through. And let's see if I need to send it back. Oh, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Just to be sure, I'll do a quick rotate and send it on back. Now, did you see how quick that dried? You would think that by sending it through as fast as I did, it would have it everywhere. But remember, I said it's not a paste. It's not a mousse. It's not a gel. It's a wax. And I have now taken this and elevated it to this. You've got that luster finish, that metallic, beautiful gold finish. From this to that. Y'all saw it. There's no editing or overdubbing or nope, what you see is what you get, and you all saw it. The luster wax goes straight over the top and covers up all of that yucky old paper. Now what are we going to do with it? Well, let's get my sticky dots. And it dries. Well, you saw how quick it dried. It didn't get over my plates. It didn't get all over my hands. It didn't get all over anything. It dries that fast. Peel it up. And well, I guess I can center it. Let's put it down. Nope, got a little piece that I didn't get out. There we go. Now I could put this on black paper, but I'm going to color it. So I can start here. And maybe here. And then maybe I do this one here and here. And then maybe I do, ooh, maybe I do this one here and over here. And maybe I do this one here and here. And so I can just go in and start to color, but are we going to keep it that color? Of course not. So I just started to color feathers. Am I going to keep it that way? Nope, not at all. I'm going to bring in some of my other colors and let's add a little red in here. And that one is this one right here. So I'm going to saturate, saturate, saturate. And then give it a chance to blend. And when I say blend, I mean that it's going to seep into each other. Not a typical blend. Now let's do that one right there. And maybe a little red down at the bottom. And then its original color up at the top. And just make them blend. And we're kind of forcing the blend. And what's nice is that the wax resists the ink. So I could go, I'm going over the gold by accident, but it's not staying there, it's resisting the ink. So let's add a little bit of, this one down here. Oh no, that's that one. Oh, this one. We'll add a little bit of this one down here, and then a little bit of this one up here to blend it. And maybe a little bit more, and a little bit more. And then on the brownie ones, maybe I come in with a little darker brown. Maybe a little darker brown down at the bottom. And a little bit of my lighter brown that I started with. And make it blend, blend, blend. And then maybe a little darker brown again at the bottom. Until you've got it to the saturation that you want it to be. As long as the inks are wet, you've got time. And you just get them re-wet. I mean, I did these browns a while ago, right? And I'm using them, these were done a while ago. I'm just re-wetting them. And then putting my color down. Is that the color I want? I don't know. A little darker brown. Give yourself permission. It's only paper. Ooh. I really need to put the lid on that one. It's only paper. Oh, maybe I like that. Maybe I'll add a little red to this one. Looky, I put a little red right in the middle. See that? I put a little red right in the middle. What do you think's going to happen? I don't know. Let's see. So I'm going to go over the whole thing. With my base color. And kind of force it to blend. Wrong side. And then I'm going to give it a chance to do its thing. So at some point I have to stop and let the blending happen. So I got to stop and let it dry. But look at that gold. Is that beautiful? Brown, brown, yellow. Yellow, and then come back in with that light yellow, and then come back in with that orange again, and a little more yellow to saturate. And then let's see what happens. As long as it's wet, you can keep playing. And if you need to re-wet it, start with your base color. You can do this. This isn't hard. It really, really, really isn't. You just have to give yourself a chance to play. And again, is it going to go through your paper? Yes, absolutely. That's what alcohol inks do. They go through the paper. But I could sit here and continue to just color. And just do a bunch of my bases. And then when I'm ready, go back, re-wet them a little bit, add a little bit of my color, and see what happens. At $1.99 a market, you can do this. Are they refillable? No. At $1.99 a marker, it just isn't worth right now doing the refills. Ozzy Andrew will be doing the 00 he'll do, or the 0 he'll do. I told him that one's kind of necessary. What do you think? We took, I don't know about this paper, but we took it and we made it beautiful. And I could just keep coloring and just keep blending. Now I've mixed browns and reds and oranges and yellows, even though they may not be exactly the right color combinations, but according to who? No, this is your art. These are your creations. This is your turkey, gobble wobble, however you want to do him. So be okay with it. And the colors are beautiful. The colors are beautiful. And I always leave a little area around the outside to give me a place to make sure that I'm grabbing the right color. Now I also can come back in and grab that beautiful blue that I love so much and grab my turkey die, and all I care about is this piece right there. Only piece I care about. So I'm going to cut it down, because all I want is that piece there. Let's hope I did good in my cutting. Time will tell. Will I get it? Why, yes, yes I will. Bring my machine on over. And send it on through. Now, I don't care about it cutting the rest of anything. Makes no difference to me. I just want that one piece there. As long as I get this piece, I'm happy. Up. Oh, there we go. Come on. Usually you're not so ginger with a piece you throw away. There we go. Now I can keep the rest of him because I could paper piece in some of this. But I'm going to paper piece in this piece. And you're like, what do you mean paper piece? Well, I'm going to grab my sticky dots again. Oh, tons over there. And set this down. And fill him back in with just this piece. And if I were all done coloring him, I could trim him out. and call them done. And it really is up to you. Do you want to go in there and just color in a ton of your little pieces? So I have talked to Ozzy Andrew about replacement nibs too. Working on that. The color checkbook, so you can have swatches of all your colors. The refill for the blender, which isn't really a blender. And replacement nibs. And production line it. Until you're done. Add a little bit of that. Oh, where's that brown? Is this the brown? Yep. A little bit of that brown at the bottom. Ooh, that's really brown. And a little bit of this one. And a little bit of this one. And then let it dry. Just do a whole production line. Okay, right? Okay, let's do the birdhouse. Let me put that one there. Okay, so what have we done? We have done the just basic die cutting and coloring, easy peasy mac and cheesy. We've done the die cutting and coloring with alcohol ink markers from Couture Creations, and coloring the color of the cardstock to change the color of the cardstock. The watering can was the burgundy. I just took a black alcohol ink marker and colored right over it. You can use any kind of marker you want. And then we used the Sizzix Luster Wax on a yucky piece of paper and then started to make magic. But let's use the birdhouse. And I'm going to change up my yucky piece of paper. This one's not yucky at all. But maybe it's just because we only have a little swatch of it left. They gave it to me. All right, well, I'm going to use the bronze, I think. So I've got my luster wax. This is the rose gold. It's really more like a bronze. Got my little spouncy. Now these don't go hard. Really, they don't. Because it's a wax-based product, they don't get too stiff. You can use them again and again and again. I'm going to let you know that. They still will be, some of them get so hard you can never use them again. But because this is a wax-based product, you don't have that problem. And I'm just going to go over it and cover up whatever paper. Gosh, that's almost too nice to do that. Maybe I'll use, how about this one? Let me cut off a hunk of it. I won't feel so guilty going over this one. It's like the other one. I can use that for something. I don't know what yet, but I will use it. And when I say we, I mean the SMS girls. Yeah, okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna take my rose gold luster wax. Now the luster wax, I think it runs like $7.99 a bottle or $8.99 a bottle, which when you look at it seems really expensive until you realize that it's probably going to last you the rest of your crafting journey. It's probably gonna, you may be able to share this with a couple friends. You're gonna have it for so long. It really does last quite some time. And to me, again, it's easier for me to just cover a big piece of paper versus trying to die cut out and then covering up thin lines on a die. Okay, I think we're almost there. Good enough? That's plenty big. Now, how do you get it off your craft mat? You need a Mr. Clean eraser. Alcohol might do, but Mr. Clean eraser is going to do much better. Okay. So from this to this, let me cut off a hunk of this just so I can show you. And then let's do the birdhouse. Let's do the birdhouse. Bring my machine on over. Oh, much too big. I would save this piece for later. Die cut words out of it, whatever. I certainly would not give that away or throw that away. Send it on through. It's already dry. Let me go back just a little bit. So it's already dry. It's not going to make a mess all over my die cutting machine. And through. Sticky, sticky. Okay, we think we're good. I'll rotate and send it one more time just to be certain. And I went from this to this. Right? Looks good. All of a sudden, you've got a whole new use for your wax, right? But what if, okay, so let me put it down on paper. Let's get a white sheet of paper out. I knew I was going to use a lot of white paper today. Let's get my sticky dots out. Give a good press. Put it down. Let's trim it out just a little bit so I don't have such a big piece of paper. And then I still have this beautiful blue here, right? I got this beautiful blue. What if I took and just die cut out the houses? So let's move this to the side. And let's just die cut out the houses. And that's from the Eclectic Pack from Sizzix. I love the colors. The colors, they just went with this collection so perfectly. All I care about are the houses. I don't care about anything else. Bring over my machine. Send them on through. Ooh. The houses aren't intricate, so I might be able to just do them one pass, no problem, because I'm not asking it to cut all the rest of the leaves. Okay, now I'm going to take that and I'm going to open up my sticky. And I'm going to put it down. Stop bending it, Stacy. Put it down. Close it up. And then I can pick and choose what I want from it. So I want the houses. And now they're sticky and ready to go. And I'm going to paper piece those houses right on in. And I'm just going to pick up the different pieces that I want. That one I can just do with my hands. And paper piece it all together. And in no time at all, so why am I doing my paper piecing this way? Normally, I'll put the sticky dots on the white sheet of paper and then die cut and move my pieces over to my dies don't have the sticky on them. They have it, the white sheet of paper has it on it. I want to do it this way because I don't want any sticky dots anywhere else, because I'm going to then color. And look, it's just like a jigsaw puzzle that's you've already got the answers to. They already showed you how to put it together. I just want this piece to fit in a little bit better. I'm off somewhere on it. Just can't tell where I'm off, but we will survive. Okay. Maybe that little center piece. Come on, right there. So I wanted that in that beautiful blue. And then I can save these. Now I could cut this out. I could put my liner back on. And then cut this out. And save those for a later date until I want to use them to paper piece in. Maybe I'll use them now. I don't know. But I'm going to grab my light green and come in here. And remember, the wax acts as a resist. So I can color all my little leaves. And then come in with the darker green and get it wet. And add just a little bit of darker green in here if I want. And then blend it, make it move with my lighter green. So it's not blending per se, it's mixing. So I'm going in with my light green to begin with, light green, and doing my whole leaf in the light green, and then coming back with a little bit darker green, and then moving it or blending it with my original color, just so the colors have an opportunity to blend into each other. Okay, you can do this. And then I have the sky. So I don't want to do the sky in the same blue. I did that beautiful blue on the turkey. But what if I took my two light blues? This one is 9421, and the two favorites that I have are 9421 and 9482. And I just quickly go around and color in my sky. Not spend a lot of time, not being overly accurate. I don't have to be, because the wax is going to resist my marker. And I can make my sky. And then lately I've gotten into blending the two. Okay, and just color in my sky. But like I said, lately I've gotten into kind of blending the two. So I'm even taking this one and putting that over the top. It just kind of, they make the most beautiful blend, the two of them. And because they don't leave the lines, it's not like coloring with a regular marker. Okay, well, I could continue on and on. But this copper, this rose gold, it all started with this, that then became this, that then became, ooh. Oh, see, then I could take the centers out of here. See, then I could come back in and I could put, oh, see, I could have so much fun. I could put the centers back in, and I mean, you could just have a great time. Okay, but we're not done. What do you mean you're not done? What if you don't want the wax? What if you're like, I don't need one more thing, Stacy. I don't need one more thing. Okay, I get you. I hear you. But remember, we took that, to the beginnings of that. Just like we did with the gold. But Stacy, I can't. Not one more thing. Okay, let's do it your way. How about we take, how about we take what's supposed to be the sunflower? Ooh. And let's take that. Okay, we'll do this one. And let's die cut. Ooh. I told you there was lots to do in this YouTube. And let's slightly rotate it. And let's send it on through. Let me go back just a little bit. Back. And up. Okay, and then let's send it on through. Okay, and then let's do a quick rotate at the end. So I'm just gonna twist it that way. I'm gonna twist it that way. And let's send it on back. And let's pull it on out. Look at all the bits and pieces fall out. Okay, you think we got them all? You think we got enough? All right, so let's get rid of all of this. This time we're not going to use wax. We're going to use what most of you already have and have had for years and years and years and years and years. Say hello to your Versamark. Versamark, it's a embossing medium, a heat embossing medium, not like an embossing folder medium. This is a medium that stays wet long enough for powder to stick to what you are doing. And then you use a heat tool, not a blow dryer, a heat tool to melt that powder, which is a plastic, into a solid. Can't use a blow dryer. All right, so I put Versamark all around. And you can kind of see the shiny where it's still wet. Now, I'm not going to put my embossing powder on top of this because I've got wet Versamark there and I will lose embossing powder. It will just stick to this. Stick. So, let's get... This should work. Let's get the silver. How about we do silver? And I am using detailed embossing powder. Detailed embossing powder, all embossing powders are pretty much the same. They're a type of plastic that have been ground down until a fine powder. But different manufacturers grind to a different fineness of the powder. This is a detailed embossing powder, which means it is ground so fine that it's going to cling to every last little nuance and detail in this die. If I was to use a chunky embossing powder, those chunks are so much thicker than this, and when it melts, they spread. So we tend to always use a detailed embossing powder because Well, we can always add more, but if you put on a thick embossing powder, it's hard to take it away. So I'm just going to put this embossing powder all over. And it's sticking to the paper because of that Versamark medium. And you're like, oh, Stacy, you're wasting it. You're dumping it everywhere. Don't worry, I'm going to put it all back away. Just want to make sure I got a good coating. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to put this all carefully. Don't sneeze, anybody. Do not sneeze. Hold it. No ceiling fans. No air conditioning. Okay. Voila. All right, I'm going to get a heat tool. So I'm going to use my Sizzix heat tool. Not a blow dryer. This is a heat tool. It's got 2 speeds. I like it. It doesn't burn anything. Even on the high speed, I have trouble burning stuff, so that makes my heart happy. And I am going to emboss this. For those of you who have never seen this, hello, I'm Stacy. Welcome to Magic Happening. Embossing is the coolest thing ever. Look it. You can see where the heat has melted those little granules of plastic from a powder into a solid. And here there's no heat yet, so it hasn't changed. Look at that. Embossing is like the 8th wonder of the world. Truly, when people see it for the first time, it is a gasp moment. It's very easy for me to see where I haven't embossed yet. One of these corners isn't like the other. Okay, how long does it take to dry? As long as it takes it to cool down. Ta-da! Now, that looks pretty good, although you can see where all my little pieces didn't come out, but now I can pop them out because I can see them easier. Now that looks pretty good. It really does. No complaints. But if I wanted it to be more raised and even a more beveled effect, how would I do that? I would double emboss. Say, what? Yes, double emboss. I'm going to use the same piece. I brought over my paper that has my Versamark on it. I'm going to ink this up all over again with my Versamark. Should be good. Bring over my paper. Bring over my silver embossing powder, and we're going to do it again. What is this going to do? It's going to even give it a more rich, dense depth and color. It's going to get rid of any little bumpies that you had. It's going to make it look like it is metal. So instead of using an ultra thick embossing powder to do this, because the ultra thick will spread, and where all my fine lines are of the die, I don't want it to go out of those lines. So I have don't do that. Now I need to put all of this away. So some of you are like, well, couldn't you just use the thick embossing powder the first time? But as it melts, it spreads, and you can lose all of the detail of the die as the powder is changing into a solid and melting. I wanted to avoid that. Best way to avoid that, detailed embossing powder. It is your friend. Okay. So I want to show you. I want you to see the bottom here is so thick and so raised and so smooth. It is glass-like. The top still hasn't been done, but double embossing takes no time at all. And the effect is wonderful. This is beautiful. It's supposed to be a sunflower. Shh. Doris said she made hers a pink poinsettia. So we're going to make a poinsettia out of this. But I do have a poinsettia die coming. Shh. So if I took this and I brought over my white paper, and I brought over my sticky dots. Let's open up a new one. Ooh, isn't that nice? New clean sheet of sticky dots. Remember, we started with, I don't know, weird paper. Where we started with this paper. So from this to that. Not bad, right? Let's put it down. And then let's take 1, 2, 3. Eventually I'll learn to open up the right side. Some point it will happen. And I colored in all of my pink. The embossing powder is also going to act as a resist. Now maybe I take a little bit of my purple. And a little bit of my pink. And a little bit of my pink. And a little bit of my purple. And a little bit of my pink. And a little bit of my pink. And a little bit of my purple. And a little bit of my pink. And a little bit of my pink. And a little bit of my purple. And a little bit of my pink. So I'm doing my pink here. Then I'm adding my purple about halfway up. And then I'm coming back with my pink. And then my pink. And then my purple. And then my pink. To start making my poinsettia sunflower. It's supposed to be a sunflower, but hey, it's whatever you make it. And then what if I came back in? So a little bit of my purple and a little bit of my dark purple and a little bit of my lighter purple and a little bit of my purple and a little bit of my dark purple and then a little bit of my lighter purple. Right? And a little bit of my lighter purple. So I'm just re-wetting the ink. That's the only reason why I'm adding that light purple is to re-wet the ink. Then I'm going to put a little bit of my dark purple. And see, I didn't put a whole lot. Can you see it in there on that third one? And then I come back with my lighter purple and saturate it. And if I want, I can come back with my pink and throw some of my pink back in there. But I've got my purple and then some of my dark purple and then my light purple to saturate. And then my purple and then my dark purple and then my light purple to saturate. And if I want to, I can come back and throw a little bit of pink in there. Say, hello, alcohol ink markers. You don't scare me now. Right? Hello? Pink. 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 Light purple. About halfway up. Come back with the pink. Light purple. Pink. Pink, make sure it's wet. Light purple. Pink. Then come back, put your pink down. It's very close. So, pink. Doesn't matter if I get it on my embossing. Doesn't matter, it's gonna resist it. Then my light purple, about halfway up. Then my pink. Then my light purple, about halfway up. Then my pink. Then my light purple, halfway up. Then my pink. Then my pink gets put down. Then I do my light purple and my dark purple. And then my light purple. And then if you will, come back and do a little pink. Oh, I missed one. I missed a whole leaf, a whole petal. Hello. Pink. And then my purple. And then my pink. And now my pink can go down for a minute. So these are not color blends that you would think would work if you follow traditional alcohol ink color charts. A little bit of purple, light purple, then my dark purple, and then my light purple, and then a little bit of my light purple, and then a little bit of my dark purple, and then my light purple. And then if I want, I can come back with my pink. So there we have it in various stages. Various stages. Here, just my pink. Here, my pink and my light purple. And here, my light pink, my light purple, and my dark purple. Right? All on a piece of paper that looked, I think it's that one that we used. Yeah, that looked like this. I think this is the one we used. Is that the one we used? I don't know anymore, but it was weird looking paper. It wasn't this one. So, embossing powder, look at the finish on that when you do a double emboss. Beautiful. So maybe you don't want the wax. Maybe you do want, maybe you don't have a heat tool and you're like, oh man, well that's where the wax comes in, because the wax comes in the gold and the silver and the copper or the rose gold. Comes, and you can do it in the wax without having to use embossing powder. Maybe you're like, I have enough embossing powder to emboss my whole house. Well, great. Now you can use your embossing powder. Will it bleed through the inks? Absolutely. $1.99. I mean, that is a crazy price for alcohol markers. And the nibs are so nice. Nibs are rock star. And look at, I could keep going, I could, but we need to start to wrap it up. Although I was gonna do one, gosh, I was gonna do this one. This is such a pretty die. Such a pretty die, but that's okay. We gotta call it quits at some point. It's already after 2 hours and I haven't even started with samples. So, and make sure the caps click. If you don't hear them click, they're not on. Click. We did a ton of stuff today. First off, we used exclusive Simply Defined dies that you're only going to find here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and when they are gone, they are gone. We played with Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink markers that are at a holy smokes artichokes price. We discussed how you can be an amazing expert with Copic markers, and that's a wonderful opportunity to be able to be so proficient in something, to be so creative and proficient in something. But I don't want people who don't have the time or the skill set, because it is a skill set, there's no question about it, to be afraid of using alcohol markers outside of what the norm is. The norm is what you make it. The norm is what you see, not what everybody else sees. It's how you see it. These are your creations. This is your art. And really, bucking the trend is how creativity is, where most often creativity happens, is when you step outside a box and you say, well, I can't do that, but can I do this? So alcohol ink's a little bit, the markers may be a little bit demystified for you, to where you feel you can do this, because I'm not even being careful. I'm just going. I'm all about getting in there and playing and getting it done and letting it be what it's going to be. That makes my heart happy. And then maybe this in there. You can do this, I promise you. There were so many techniques here, from just doing starting at the very beginning. You may be a new crafter and this may be where you start. But even with this, we could have taken, even with that, we either could have taken and paper pieced the sky, or we could have taken just these two markers and made the sky ourself. And am I being careful? No, I just want to get some blue in there, because then I'm going to come back with my other blue. And make my own sky. So even if you didn't want that white background that we had, look at how easy it is to change it. You would do a much better job than I am, but it's all good. And then I have to let it dry. I have to give it its opportunity to blend and those colors to mishmash with each other. And then an opportunity, and I could come in here, yes, I could come in here and I would do all of this down here, sure I would. I might even add some green to the bottom and have the green come up and blend into the blue so it looks like grass. And just take a green marker. Green marker. And blend with the blue. And have it dissolve away. So it looks like, okay, I'm that close. Sorry, folks. I am so close to being done that it just makes no sense not to finish. I take some of my green. And some of my blue. And blend them into each other and make them dissolve, make them marry into each other. Oh yeah. Okay, I feel so much better about it. Sorry. All right, that's... Okay, I'm done, honest. But look at how much better that looks. Huh? Right? And that green just blends into that blue because I put so much ink down. We went from just plain white. I used 3 markers to be able to do that. Well, an orange for the pumpkin. But to get that background, 3 markers. Okay, so we started here, and then we elaborated on that one. And then we went here and added that shading in and the shadow. And we took the burgundy paper and we colored it black because I wanted that to stand out more. I didn't want a burgundy water can, but then we went in and we colored. And then we took our wax and we took some yucky paper and we took our luster wax and covered that paper with luster wax and just made it disappear. Just wiped it away. And then we went in with the alcohol markers and started to color, and then we paper pieced our background back in. And then we did it with the rose gold luster wax and we started coloring in our little leaves, and we paper pieced in our houses, and we used the blue to the alcohol ink to make our sky. And again, we used yucky paper to do this. Nobody needs to know what's on the back side, folks. Nobody needs to know what's underneath. And then we took embossing powder. Same thing, we cut our die cut out of a yucky sheet of paper. We put Versamark over the whole thing. We embossed it once. We put Versamark over the whole thing. We embossed it twice. We washed, rinsed, and repeated. That's what we did. We did 2 embossings to get that super thick, super rich look to it without losing the detail in all of the little leaves and the branches and the little berries. We didn't want to lose that detail. And then we came back in with the alcohol markers and made them look fabulous. Oh! Okay. Holy smokes, artichokes. What's on sale this week? Well, what's on sale? We've got Sizzix wax will be on sale. We're getting very low in our quantity though, and I don't know when the next shipment is coming in. It could be October before we see it again. That's on sale. We've got our embossing powders from Stampendous. There's actually 6 detailed embossing powders, clear being one of them. We'll have all 6 on an I Want It All, and then you can buy the individual colors. Today I used the silver. I'll tell you the copper is magnificent, but you can also get the copper or the rose gold in Sizzix. The little adapters will be on sale, and the Versamark will be on sale. And well, here's the little adapter, and the new tweezers will be on sale, not for $3.80. Oh no, Aussie Andrew, $2.99. So they have the little plastic that goes over the tip, and the tips are really nice. I will say that the tips are as nice as nice as mine. The tension's a little different from what I'm used to, but it won't take me. I was pretty much done. Give me 5 minutes with them and I was good to go. And the fact is, we have them, we can get them, and we can get them to you for a wonderful, wonderful price. The sticky dots will be on sale as always. You get 10 sheets, $9.99. There's nobody that touches our pricing on that. The Sizzix paper, which is perfect for this collection. Perfect for this collection. It's the eclectic collection, so make sure you don't already have it, because while it's new to us, it's not new to Sizzix, but I'm in love with the colors. Oh, and then finally, oh, the heat tool. Yeah, the heat tool will be on sale too, just in case. And then finally, my exclusive dies. So, oh, well, and all of Ozzy Andrews, that would be helpful. All 108 alcohol markers. They are $1.99. I cannot do them for any less than $1.99. And we'll do an I Want It All bundle for all 108, or you can buy just the colors that make your heart happy. And no, this is not all 108, but you don't want me to dump them all down here, trust me. Okay, my dies. So we have the Wagon with the 2 opportunities for either pumpkin or flower, and Happy Fall with a couple extra pumpkins. We have Give Thanks because I had room to fit it in here. You know me, if I have a way to get them done, I will. So each die is $13.99. These are a full A2 size die. Full A2 size die. This price is amazing. If you buy the I Want It All, which is getting all 6 dies, it brings them down to $9.99. And like I said, there's nobody who meets us on that pricing. Well, somebody does, but they knock us off. So if you are buying from Alibaba or Wish or AliExpress, they are taking everybody else's designs and copying them and knocking them off. Not just me. I mean, some of my good friends, Memory Box, Sizzix, lots of people, designers take a really long time to figure out what they want it to look like and to do it and to design it and to manufacture it. To then have these companies come in and literally, I mean, they're not even shameless. They just take the YouTube, they take the samples that we show, and they just attach them right to their site. So if you are buying these on Wish or Alibaba or AliExpress, please know you are buying knockoffs of my original designs and everybody else's too. So when a company stops making dies, because everybody's buying them from these companies, these knockoff companies, you can't get mad if you were buying them from them and now you're upset you can't get anything new. You kind of helped. You helped put the stop to them making manufacturing dies, you know? Support the designers. We support the designers. We support small independent businesses. Okay, so if you get all 6 of these, $59.99, that makes them $9.99 a die. So now you know. Wish, Alibaba, AliExpress. They do what they do, and there's no recourse. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just too small. Except for tell you, ouch. Boy, SMS girls were so mad because they saw them on AliExpress, and they literally took the samples that we showed and put them on AliExpress. So not only did they copy the dies, but they used all of the SMS girls' samples. These are Claire. So let me show you Claire. That's having no shame. If you're gonna knock them off, at least make your own samples. It's one of the reasons why we are a one and done. Look at, isn't that beautiful? That's the one I didn't get to. Aren't they beautiful? One and done. Because, well, they're probably watching right now and we'll have these in production as quickly as they possibly can. Well, at least the ones they like. So this is all Claire. See, he's a grown-up turkey. He's been pardoned. Look at how cute is this. Isn't that darling? This is all Claire. I'm going this way. How beautiful is this? See, she did a sunflower. Well done, Claire. I didn't want Doris's card to feel lonely. Oh, see, look at you didn't either. Uh-huh. Isn't that fabulous? Look at that. That's beautiful. And look at how sweet. Just paper piecing. So soft, so easy, so elegant. Totally elevated and completely different than anything I did. That was Claire. Then we have Elena. Hello, Elena. So look at, that's Elena. That's beautiful. I love this die. Sorry I didn't get to it. And look at Elena's birdhouse. Right? Beautiful. Pardon me, Turkey Day, eat ham instead. This is Elena. Your turkey's talking. And again, all paper pieced. You can do that. You've got the tweezers, you've got the sticky dots. Paper piecing made easy. Elena. So cute. I love the red wagon. I do. I love the red wagon. And Elena, look at how elegant is this. Thank you. Look at how elegant is that. Thank you. Oh, it easels. Of course it does. It pops up. Hello, Elena. I should know better when you have a folding card. It should move when you have a top fold. Look at that. Isn't that cute? This is all Elena. And then look at with sympathy. How soft is that? How subtle and understated. And the muted colors are just, they're just perfect for a with sympathy card. It's well done. Well done, Elena. Beautiful. And then we have Doris. Ha, Doris did the green on the bottom too. Ha ha, I wasn't alone. And Doris. And look at this. This has got opulent paper in it and the glitter with the alcohol ink markers and pulling it all out. And she wants me to open it. Okay, I will. And there you go for the inside. These are the little pumpkins that come with those little pumpkins come with the wagon as extra dies. Look at how pretty is that. Up and here is her pink poinsettia. It was supposed to be a sunflower, but it worked and I did the same thing. I joined the bandwagon. Look at how pretty. Oh, and then this is beautiful. See, with the flowers, this doesn't have to be fall at all. Look at how beautiful is that. Oh, well done. And here she took a snippet. So that's part of this. And she took a snippet of there. So pretty. Oh, and here is her turkey, again, grown up. And, oh, you've got, oh, from paper. Look at, isn't that nice? Just finishes it off. Pretty. And her birdhouse. Again, elegant. This can be used all year round. All year round. Several of these can be used all year round. The turkey, The turkey, not so much, but yeah, it's hard to find a good turkey out there. Okay. And then, oh, whose is this? Is this Elena? Yep, I've missed one of Elena's. And then SMS girl, Belinda will be back hopefully next month. And if not, we understand. You take your time and you just process and you be okay. The last thing I have for you is, ooh, I'm gonna have to go back, is an Elena creation. Hence the reason I'm zooming back. Ha! So she's got the wagon with the pumpkins and the lights and the birdhouse and the watering can, all in this stand up. I don't even know if I can get it. It won't be in frame, but look at how it's bigger than 12 by 12. But she made the was it a diorama? Look at, isn't that cute? And this is Elena, and of course it has lights, because it wouldn't be Elena if it didn't have lights. All right, you guys. Oh, it's been a long YouTube. I told you there was a lot. I warned you. I said I could probably do this in 2 or 3 YouTubes, but why? By the time I would have remembered what I didn't do in this YouTube to do it in another YouTube, I would have forgotten it all. So, okay, where are you going to get all of this great product? Well, the dies you're going to have to find here, unless you'd like to wait a little while and get them on AliExpress, Alibaba, or Wish, knowing that you saw them here first. The dies are exclusively Scrapbooking Made Simple. They're my designs, and they're value priced to keep crafting affordable. The alcohol markers, I'm not sure if you can find them. We did the worldwide launch on them, so I'm not sure they're readily available here in the States yet. I don't think a lot of independent stores will have them yet, but at $1.99, please feel free to shop with us. The embossing powder, shop your local store for detailed embossing powder. Just make sure it's detailed. It doesn't matter whose detail. We carry Stampendous. As long as it's detailed embossing powder, shop your local store. Versamark, shop your local store. Sizzix Luster Wax, if they've got it, shop your local store. The Sizzix Eclectic Cardstock Pack, if they've got it, shop your local store. And if you don't have a local store, then we do appreciate when you shop with us. We know you have a choice. We know you have lots of choices. We know we're not the biggest and we're not the best. We're just Scrapbooking Made Simple, just chugging along as best as we can. We do what we can do to the best of our ability, and we appreciate all of you for understanding that. All right, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you all next week, and don't forget to post who do you have lots of gratitude for? Who are you so thankful to have in your life? Okay? Bye.